Thank you very much, Ceann Comhairle. And there is a deputy from the government here as well as the minister.
Just the one, is it?
Well, just the one, yeah. That's two of us out of a party of 37. You work the percentage out for yourself. There's not very many deputies in general in the House here. I'd like to, first of all, thank Colette Kelleher, Lynn Ruane and Grace O'Sullivan for introducing this bill in the Shannon. Ceann Comhairle, I'd like to thank you for agreeing to set up an Oireachtas joint committee dealing with issues relating to the travelling community when you were asked to do so by Senator Colette Kelleher after a discussion I had with her for the need for such a committee. Because in discussions we had, we agreed that unless there was a dedicated committee with the huge amount of issues faced by the travelling community, we would never get round within the then existing structures of Leinster House to deal adequately with the myriad of challenges that community faces. I'd like to thank Deputy Pringle, who I've cooperated with on other issues, for bringing the bill in here, and I'd like to thank the Minister for the decision, which is vital to getting the bill through the House, that the Government will support the bill. I first became interested in the travelling community when I was a student, through the inspiration of Micheál McGrail, a Jesuit, who had made it his business to live with the travellers, to get to know them, and to speak about the huge challenges they face. And this isn't today or yesterday. And I had the great honour when he wrote his last book detailing prejudice and tolerance in Ireland. I was asked by him to write the foreword to that book. And it's interesting that he dedicated the whole monumental work he did and the whole span of prejudice and tolerance in Ireland to Ireland's travelling community. And then he put a hyphen, Ireland's apartheid. And he didn't understate the matter from the evidence in the book. Now, I often wonder, does the state reflect the people? And does the state altogether, or is it the other way around, that the state dictates attitudes to the people? I think in many, many ways the reality is that the state in a democracy reflects the views of the people. And unfortunately, when it comes to travellers, those views are very, very negative, discriminatory, and have serious consequences. Having had to read the book to write the foreword, looking across the whole span of all the different prejudices and tolerances, the one thing that jumped out was that the general public attitude to the travelling community was the most negative of all. For example, I think the figure was 18% of Irish people believe that Irish travellers should not have Irish citizenship. And when you look at all of the other sociological indicators, they're all on the most negative side. And we will only change these attitudes by education, by informing people that the travelling community are a community who have a long tradition, a long history, and a deep culture. I think it was Davis that said, "Educate that you may be free." And I hope that arising from this bill, what we will achieve is that we will educate all the young people of Ireland so that they may be free of intergenerational prejudice towards a very important indigenous community in this country.